cars are not allowed to have any sort of electronic timing devices inside them, or they have to be taped over. I think the safety car will have removed itself from the track. See a green flag waving at the start-finish line, so we will be underway with this regularity event. First car comes across the line, and it's that beautiful two-door Datsun in the lead. And as they lap around, well, as they get around, we will see what sort of times they are doing. Of course, the first lap we don't get to work out anything much. All sorts of things out there, from little single-seater open wheelers, clubmans, a hot rod style car.
Of course, yesterday, Phil, the timing was a little bit messed up because they did their practicing and when they nominated their times in the wet.
Yeah.
So when it came to the actual event later in the day, and the track had pretty much dried out by that stage, they were way off their nominated time. So it'd be interesting to see what they've nominated today.
Yeah,
Much easier to keep to the time, though.
I don't know whether they've renominated or not. There's a few fairly, what I might suspect as slowish times that they've nominated in amongst that list. So it could be a little bit interesting if the track is certainly in much better condition for achieving a reasonable lap time at the moment.
You're able to go up and renominate the time prior to the event running, so no doubt a few of them have been forming a long queue, I would imagine, to the timekeeper man to suggest that they may alter their times.
Yeah, well, it's something that they certainly should be well on board with doing, and if they haven't, then that's their problem, I guess. But so see the little Formula Ford, they're heading down the back straight. I think it's a Formula Ford.
It's a Formula Ford.
Yeah.
Somebody just, like we said earlier on, and we say probably every time about the regularity, that it's a good way to put the toe in the water.
We've got a spinner that's come onto the start-finish straight in one of the clubmans.
See that? He was...
scribbled a quick message to his mum on the inside of his underwear with that one.
Well, actually, that was Connor Ryan. Now, Connor Ryan, I've not seen drive this car before. It's an Arch. An Arch Clubman Ford, 1600cc, 1968 model. Something new into the Connor Ryan stable, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Just finding its limits, I would say.
Or a little bit beyond the limits.
It's not like Connor to have a spin, actually. He's
a pretty handy driver.
Oh, my word. He drives some really quick cars. So, anyway, he's found the limit. He won't go there again.
That could be the commentator's curse, Ron, saying he won't go there again. He may well do it every lap.
Yes, we do the old Murray Walker, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, thanks.
So a few cars a little bit bunched up in that little group on screen.
We were talking yesterday about the Datsun coupe cars. There's another one out there too, like the Datsun 1600 in a two-door version. Weren't actually sold here in Australia, so they'd be fully import cars.
Yeah, fully import car.
But,
I did see some of them back on the road many years ago.
Yeah, quite
something a little bit odd with the
front wheel
right front tyre on the old
I think he's
style car. He might have
been off. Yeah, he's been on the road. Yeah, been off the road because the car is generally absolutely immaculate, but it's got some mud down the side at this stage. So it's a great car, isn't it? A Ford Roadster. Sounds magnificent.
Yeah, we've even got a replay of the event where he had a bit of a spin, apparently. So we look forward to. Here we go. I think no, this isn't the replay, not yet. Here we go. Replay of the spin. So the Escort, and there we go. Backs it across onto the track. big skid mark on the grass and probably in the underwear.
Somewhere else, yes. No, it's a magnificent car. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that had a black one like this. And whether this is the black one revamped into something else, I'm not sure.
Well, maybe the black one was just black because it hadn't been washed.
Oh, no, it was
it was always immaculate, I know.
No, he's always... it's the only event I ever see him running at. I don't see him running anywhere else, but and we don't even have he's either got a very complicated surname, but we only know him as Nick. Nick in his 34 Ford Roadster. It's a 5-litre car, so it sounds like a 2 when it goes by. Lots of little bug-eye sprites and MG midgets, Healy sprites, fantastic little cars. A lot of people hone their times in these little cars. Many a race driver came out of a Healy sprite or a bug-eye sprite.
Absolutely.
MG midgets and so on. And a good stepping stone in the early days of motor racing.
Yeah.
Relatively cheap at the time, of course, and the little A-series motors, very easy to hot up.
Little Clubman style car there, car 69, just heading through on screen.
Yes, in your program, there's quite a few cars that aren't in the program because we had a heap of late entries, which is most unusual, but we had up to about 300 entrants, I think it was originally, then suddenly it was got 310, then it was 320. I think we ended up with about 325 in the finish. So a lot of entrants putting in a late entry, as we say. Now Bill Hemming's out there. Now Bill Hemming normally doesn't run regularities. We normally see Bill either driving a Formula 5000 or the big Elfin sports car that he runs. But he's got the little Catalina, I think that is, an Elfin Catalina. Or is it a Elfin Malilar, sorry?
Malilar,
Elfin Malilar. So that's an unusual name to me, the Elfin Malilar. But anyway, that's a sweet-looking little car, and Bill's out there. He runs a very nice business down there, the Elfin Heritage Centre. And he's got a great collection of Elfin cars down there. He also has actually for sale a trailer. And of course the people at home can't see, but it's on page 13, a trailer for sale. Contact Bill Hemming.
Yeah, but don't ring him at the moment, he won't answer. Or he shouldn't.
Real character, Bill. We had him as a guest speaker at the VHRR one night, and had us in absolute raptures of his early days with BMC, in actual fact.
Okay.
In the sales and promotion side of BMC. Some of the stories he told us were pretty amazing. Then he came back to Australia and started with Leyland Australia, so he was involved with the early days of P76 and those other sort of cars. So
it's always interesting to be able to get around some of these guys that have been around motorsport for a long time and listen to them chat on. I was lucky enough, I went to a meeting, car club meeting up here on Wednesday night. A chap by the name of Wally Story, who was well known in motor racing in Australia. In the back box, he was the guest speaker, entertained us for several hours, and eventually I think I just have to go home. So, but many a tale told.
He couldn't see the wind-up man behind him there somewhere.
I believe
so it is the
checkered flag is out, so once the last car is across the finish, we might be actually able to bring to you who it is that's managed to go as close as possible to their nominated lap time as consistently as possible. You don't need to do it on just one lap, do you, Ron? You've got to do it each and every time you go around. If you have one lap where the red mist has well and truly come down and you've done a blinder, that's going to hurt you really, really hard.
Well, it has in some cases. Say, for instance, car 054, which is on the program here. There's Daniel Rosati with the Datsun Bluebird we were talking about before. He nominated a 157, but he's been doing a 154.4.
Oh.
So, and next man, Holtz in car 21, which is the car that's the MG Midget. And he nominated 2 minutes, but he's done a 2:04, so he's going the other way. So closest there would be 2:11 to 2:10 for MacGyver. Now, I'm pretty sure MacGyver did pretty well yesterday. That's car 78. That's in the MGB GT, from what I remember. So, so a few of the guys' times are a little bit mixed up today. But
and I see Louise Raper out there. She'd nominated a 2:10, but she's only been doing 2:15. So.
Oh, right off the pace.
So anyway,
as the fog seems to be coming down here over the top end of the circuit, so visibility a bit vague up towards the old Penrite corner area there.
Yeah, well, of course, the last meeting here, the Winton Historic, we actually had to postpone the start of the day because of fog, so hopefully it doesn't roll in too badly.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's.
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
We all agree now is the right time to start making choices to support Aussie businesses, supporting Aussie families and communities. Well, from their humble beginnings in Melbourne nearly 100 years ago, Penrite now sit as a truly respected global lubricants brand across automotive and industry. And the best bit, it's still 100% owned by an Aussie family that employs Australians in Australian factories right here on Aussie dirt.